What is up, bros? Be Josh here. In today's video, we're going over some Des Moines play I had the other day. And if you've ever watched my stream, we stream all these games live, so you can come check us out on twitch.tv slash mejash, and you can come check us out live 6 days a week. We play lots of warships as well as some other games. But you've never really seen me play the Des Moines, and the reason being is the Des Moines is one of my least played tier 10 ships. And the reason because of that is it just doesn't really match my play style. So I've kind of made it a mission recently to play more ships, especially at tier 10, that tend to not really be stuff I've played in the past. Now, I would normally be a player that would be considered an open water cruiser player, so that would be ships that consist of like the Hindenburg, especially in the past, the Zhao, even the Henry, or something even more like the Minotaur I find extremely fun, and ships that have kind of especially got backburnered for me is something like the Des Moines, its counterpart the Salem, Moskva, and its counterpart the Stalingrad. So these are ships I tend not to play too much, and even ships like the Worcester. I think I have one or two, since it's been live, 1 or 2 games in the Worcester, which seems kind of nuts if anybody is working towards the Worcester, why I'm not playing it. And it's because I just tend to play some other stuff. I tend to be a destroyer player, or a battleship player when it comes to high tiers, and so I've kind of made it a mission of mine to start playing more cruisers, and especially some ships that I haven't played a lot in the past. So we started bringing out the Des Moines, and obviously the more I play the Des Moines, the more I realize why so many people play the Des Moines, and it's because it's extremely good. Now, one of the downsides, in my opinion, of the Des Moines is its inability to really kind of flex back and forth like you could with a quote-unquote open water ship, as I mentioned earlier. Now, the reason being is the Des Moines really kind of shines when it gets close to island cover, and the majority of island cover. Now, obviously, I could have posted up a bit more in the middle, but I would have tended to give broadside to one of the two sides. Des Moines is going to be the best near some islands, near a cap, using that radar to hopefully get you an early DD kill, and then just putting pressure on the team that way. So, especially with mountain range, not really the best map to do a center kind of control of the map, so you're going to have to commit to either one side or the other, and seaside tended to be the best with the spawns we had. But obviously, with how high tier works, you get some goofers that are in queue, and they make it as difficult as possible. Now, you'll kind of see some goofer play as time goes on in this game, and we kind of have to go man mode here, put on the carry pants, and bring it back. But as you can see, some of the ships that spawned east of the sea cap have now gone west. Some of the ships that were on west side, as in me and my destroyer, have gone east. And you kind of have this weird high tier cluster of what's going on, what's everyone doing, and we don't really have a message. We also see a Hindenburg that is way off, and I think he can't even shoot at anything because the island's there. So you have some goobers here, and we have a big health pool, because behind me we have a Missouri, we have a Yamato, and we have a Jean Bart all in the same square, and I haven't seen a single battleship shell go out. But what we're going to try to do, get this kill on the Z-52, because we're about to lose our cabin in the middle because he's sailing broadside and is going to take a torp from our Grozovoy right there. So a bit of a bummer, we lose a DD early, which tends to be kind of the case in majority of games. A DD is going to be the first one, but the DM, I have very few games in, so I'm not super comfortable with the shooting arcs on the ship, but it's definitely something that is taking a little while to get used to. But really kind of playing this ship has obviously taken a little bit of time, but you kind of get used to it pretty quickly. And even though it has kind of that USN arc, you kind of realize that you have the chance of, and a little bit of bummer, I'm still trying to figure out the best captain build for this as well, debating if I should get extra marksmanship or not. But right now we have this kind of weird situation. We have a DD that is in front of me, so we need to be a little careful of that. Obviously, worry about some torps. He has sonar, and if we can see that Baltimore, we got a good kill on the Hindenburg, which is good. So we kind of balanced it out a little bit, basically traded a cruiser and the Caba for a Hindenburg, so we'll gladly take that. And trying to just support our gearing and not get obliterated. Good thing we backed up there for the torps. And just try to figure out the best area to go, because I want to kind of rotate to the middle to start working on these ships, because I'm not doing a damn thing right now, and for some reason our Hindenburg is starting to YOLO, and I want to support my DD as much as possible, because he's going to be going against 2 destroyers, Grozovoy and the Z-52. Z-52 I know he can go 1v1 with, because he has 3 times the health he has, but the downside is that Grozovoy, that's the one I'm really worried about. But one thing we want to do is get that Baltimore off. And if you're wondering why I'm not shooting, it's because of the battleships that are on my right side. I want to get within a good striking range before I really put in a lot of damage on these ships, and so I'm not completely broadside when they can fire. So as you can see right here, the thing about the DM that's so strong, and I actually go the reload module instead of the range module. I know that depends on playstyle. That's completely up to you on if you think you can hit those shells at 16, 17. I figure I would want to just hit whatever I can within my, I think it's 15.8, yeah, 15.8 kilometer range. I want to be hitting what I can within that range as hard as possible, as fast as possible, instead of just potentially hitting a couple shells at something extremely far away. Luckily, I didn't get focused here, so we were able to kind of support this, and we need to kind of fight back and bring this team back. Now, DD-wise, they have 4 compared to our 3 right now, or 3 compared to our... Oh, wait. Okay, so they had the extra one. That makes more sense. So they had 4, we had 3, and they have a gearing, which we have no idea. We have the USS Black, which you just saw, and we just lost. This is the problem right here, and this is kind of just a goofer high tier. We've lost a tier 10 battleship, 2 tier 10 destroyers, and they traded for nothing. So that's the bummer, and just like that, we lose another ship. So the first 4 ships we've lost in the first 7 minutes is a GK, a tier 10, the highest health pool, a GK, a Hindenburg, a Gearing, and the Kaba. Now, kind of a bummer that we have to do that, but now we're trying to see situations where we can bring this back. So what are we going to do? Yamato snags a kill on the Musashi, so at least we're getting guns out. And we see the Grozavoy South, the USS Black we know is in front of us, and the Z-52 South. We know he's low, though, and then the Gearing. But what then we got to do is just go man mode. Now, I wouldn't say that this is the best play for... Of course, we continue to lose ships more and more. I would say this isn't really the best play style for this, but we do need to just get going. And the Republic, if you've ever played the Republic against Des Moines, they just smash. Basically, they just overmatch the armor, and you can just obliterate. Des Moines doesn't matter if they're bow in, you can just overmatch the armor. So it's extremely scary seeing a Republic, and they have 2 of them. So we have to be pretty careful. And I think even teaches us, it reminds us how strong the Republic is right here. Is it the salvo? Yeah, it's that salvo right there. So yeah, we're down 3 ships right now. We're down 2 DDs. My div mate is the only DD we have left. And the first salvo we take from this guy is a 20k salvo. But we are starting to get some kills back. So even though our team was like, hey, let's just end this game and go back to port on to the next one, we're at least going to try to put up a good fighting chance. We have me, we have my DD, and some of their ships are starting to get relatively low. Now we're trying to get distance on the Republic. The Republic isn't known for being the most accurate ship in the game, but it still can, you know, RNG is still great, and he got off of me. So we want to get as many turrets as we can on this guy and start forcing down those fires. So my play right here is to kill this Republic, hopefully with the St. Louis. And as you can see, I'm missing some salvos, trying to get used to the ship as well. Kill this Republic. Once this Republic's dead, then we can work down the Baltimore, work down the destroyers, and hopefully that Republic on their team, luckily he was way over there. And one of the things I forgot how insane it was just the pen values of these USN 203s. Like, you'll see the penetration to non-pen. It's like almost everything pens. It's ridiculous. So I kind of forgot how strong it was. But we're at that kind of juicy range where we can still respectively hit a ship, but he's going to start missing some salvos and start missing some shots, which means that's fantastic for us. Also, insane 4.5 seconds, I think, on the reload right now with adrenaline boost. Just the DPM of the Des Moines is just next level. I don't think there's a scarier ship really within kind of that. Maybe Henry when it has the reload booster and then a Wooster, I think, are up there too. Obviously a Minotaur, but the Minotaur is so fragile. It's just insane, and it's something that is relatively foreign to me. I mean, I think I've had this ship for 2+ years, if not more, 3 years, and I think I have less than I don't even know how many games I have in this ship. But it's just one I don't play that much, so it still feels so weird to me to be like, wow, the performance of the ship is insane. And it's I'm a person who has, like, I don't even know, 20,000 games total over all my accounts, and I'm super amazed at like how awesome one of the first tier 10 cruisers is. It's kind of funny from my point of view. to like think like, oh man, I can't believe this ship is so good. It's been around forever. But we're bringing it back at least. So the team tried to throw early. We lost 4 tier 10s first, which is always a bummer. But here we can see the strength of the Des Moines. So obviously anything with radar is going to be fantastic against destroyers, and their destroyers are luckily relatively low. And with our DPM, we're just going to go in and boom, down the USS Black goes, and we're going to see the USN AP. So this is really important, as you can see right here. I don't want to go broadside to this Republic behind me, but we need to kill these guys in front, obviously. So we're just gonna go man mode here and start wrecking. Now we are gonna have to just push in. I think this is what a lot of people are scared to do in this game, and that's just take damage. I think a lot of people are really afraid to take damage in this game, and you just have to. I'm basically not gonna stop. We're gonna slow down just a tad, but really not gonna stop because I want to kind of juke this first salvo. He's gonna get a couple of shells on me, but just look at the DPM what we can do on this. And we got pretty lucky that the smoke was here too. Our DD lined it up, but we're just gonna keep going forward and keep those guns forward because we're not gonna let our team. I mean, look at those salvos: 5K, 6K, 3Ks. You know, and that's every 4 some seconds. Pretty damn awesome this ship. If you guys haven't gone down this line, a lot of people ask me, should you go light cruiser, should you go heavy cruiser? I still think, especially after always keep an eye on the battleship that's surrounding too. People always ask me, should I go Worcester, should I go Des Moines? Obviously, it's going to be a play style. Now, even coming from a person that I would consider this not my play style, I prefer the Des Moines actually, and I think the Des Moines is still, the Des Moines is just really, really, really good, and you know, it's going to be a tad up to your play style. On what you want to go with. I think the Worcester can be a tad more of a slower but more aggro ship. Des Moines, I think, is a bit more flexible. So if you want a really specialized ship, you can definitely do that and go for the Worcester. But I think Des Moines is kind of just a more secure thing. So that just shows kind of how just positioning and really focusing on the right ships can really bring us back in this game. And I'm not sure if there's really any kind of ship that could have done what the Des Moines did this game. With getting into the right positioning, radaring. I mean, you could obviously say that maybe the Moskva could have done it. You know, maybe the Henry if we got into the right position, but we got some kills off of radars that were pretty important. We got some damage off of radars that were pretty important, and we were lucky to turn this game around. Now we end up dropping a couple more ships, but we end up bringing this game home. And there's the radar again, and basically the rest of this game is me just pretending that the monster isn't there, just ignoring the Republic. I'm just gonna keep going straight. We have a repair coming up as well, and really just gonna focus on these DDs and hopefully get them out of the game because they still technically have the lead, and the more we can get out of this, the better. And luckily we have a superintendent as well, so we have extra radar. But man, overall, just a really fun game. High tiers have just been very weird recently, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys have noticed the same thing, but it's just if you can get through the early stuff, and we basically locked the game with them being so far out of reach and really just getting into good positioning. But you really have to put your carry pants on sometimes. There's been a lot of unwinnable games recently, it seems like, and especially in high tiers. So as you saw, we lost 4 tier 10s just so early, and really have to start thinking that next step ahead, and really have to kind of think about what the next step, positioning, map control. I've been playing a lot of DD's high tiers, and it's really been kind of paying off. A lot of people ask, like, hey, what can I do to have a better impact on the game? I really feel like recently the DDs have had a massive impact on the game, playing them especially, because just knowing we have some updates on the radar change especially, so that might be something kind of cool to talk about too, since the rest of this game is kind of a tad slow. We can touch on it, and I'm kind of interested in what you guys have to think about the radar changes too. So the kind of what they're going to end up changing with radar is, in the past, if the Des Moines I'm in radared a ship, then that ship would be spotted for the entire team, both visually and on the minimap, for me and all of the team. Now going forward, if I radar this Grozavoy and he gets detected, now I will only see him as the ship itself, but it will also pop up on the minimap instantly. But now there will be a delay going forward. There'll be a delay where the rest of the allied team will then see the ship to shoot on him. So it's kind of interesting. People have been asking me a little bit what I think about the proposed change to the radar, and potentially this is what they're going to do. And I think it's all right. It's kind of interesting. They haven't told us how long that delay is going to be so far. This just came out the other day. And to me, it seems like it's definitely rewarding people that we've seen a lot in the past, rewarding people that don't have maybe the best map awareness, which I think is fine as a DD player myself. I mean, sure, I'm going to get focused less and take less damage. That's awesome. So to me, it's just a nice quality of life. And so as you see right here, I would pop the radar, the Grozavoy would pop up, and he just so happens to be within my detectability range. This is a terrible example, but so my teammates wouldn't be able to see him and be able to fire on him until the delay has gone. Then they would be up. So it basically makes it easier for a DD to then have a chance of getting away. And we'll see how it works. Again, we don't know how big that delay is, but it is kind of an interesting topic. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the new proposed radar change, and if you think it's good, bad. Again, I still don't know what that delay is going to be. That'll be the biggest factor. If it's a really long delay, it seems kind of like it seems like, all right, come on, we get it. But if it's just relatively small, we used to have a delay on ships popping up in their concealment, which was causing problems. If it's just that small one, we probably won't see too much difference. But to me, it seems like it's kind of rewarding people with potentially a little bit bad map awareness. But overall, I guess it gives you kind of that just a split second of getting away, because it definitely does suck when radar goes off to just get focused by 8 ships and then get obliterated. But most of that tends to be with bad positioning and bad map awareness. So I'm kind of split with it. But overall, I'm excited to see what the change will do. This is something that a lot of people have been really disliking, this radar over time. So I think this might kind of, as the detonation change a while ago, they changed the percentage threshold of life on detonations to be, I believe it's like 75 instead of 100. And you've seen a lot less negative conversations about detonations. So maybe this is what they're going to do. And then the angry mobs against radar might die down a little bit. So I'm interested to see what you guys kind of think. But I had a pretty fun game overall in the Des Moines, a ship I'm going to play more and more. I'm also going to check out the Salem too, and we'll do a is it worth it video in the future on that as well, because I know people always ask me if it's worth getting the Salem compared to like the DM, because the Salem costs coal and the DM is a tech tree ship. But overall, a fun game. The team tried to throw early, but we just said no and brought it back with some good positioning, good radar usage, and good DPS. Good DPS, DPM. My World of Warcraft days are coming out for the DM. So excited to play some more of this. You can always check us out live on twitch.tv/mejash every day. Well, 6 days a week, almost every day. We take one day off. Come check us out, play some ships, and have a blast. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the Des Moines itself, also with the radar change. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. But that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.